Productions.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago, for we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
Good morning. We are blapping. We are guaming. Welcome to the Raven. Very excited to be here. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy Monday, except for Chuck, who is apparently in Guam. And I guess Guam is a whole different day. So happy Tuesday to Chuck. Guys, we're going to talk about the show Wayward. It is a Netflix show about these kids who get kidnapped in the middle of the night and taken to these institutions, problematic children. Not to bury the lead, but there's a tranny in it. And that's that's really what we're going to talk about, as well as Donald Trump sucking off Bill Clinton. Allegedly, I don't know how true that is. Allegedly, we don't know if he sucked off Bill Clinton. But before we get into all that stuff, as well as voicemail and our call-in segment, let's do a little business, baby. Add to stage. All right, guys, patreon.com is where you want to go if you want to support the show. It's a great place to be. You can see all kinds of stuff, like the post that I made about having to get rid of the community chat because it's dangerous. I didn't realize when I made the community chat that we do have quite a many unhinged, you might call them dangerous, retards in the chat. And if they say anything that's too crazy and it flags Patreon's terms of service, well, we could lose everything. We could get the whole channel nuked, so not a good one. But you can see here all of our podcasts are accessible for the paying Patreon members. We have the Giants, Capitalism, and Forbidden Archaeology with Sam Urban. Here we got Elijah Wanted to Die After Winning the NDS Bible Study with Matt. Another straight Bible episode, Filthy Dreamers, and then we have our Luciferian Buddhism Deception and Spiritual Warfare with John Lenhart, Ed Mabry, and Jason Demchok, which is a controversial episode. A lot of you guys had a lot to say. Maybe we could talk a little bit about that, throughout the show. We'll see how it go. Great place to support the show. Patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad. If you're looking for a way to support me directly, you can do this. I've not been updating the ticker. It doesn't matter. I don't really have a goal. I mean, if you guys want to support me, that's really nice of you, and I do appreciate it. It means a lot. But it's just like I always forget to tally up all the numbers at the end of the show. And but there you go, at David Corbo7 on PayPal, on Venmo, and $ David Corbo7 on Cash App. You can find me there. You can support me there. Thank you very much. What's going on, guys? Let's check in with the chat before we get started. I do want to talk about this show, Wayward. Gary Joseph says straight Bible as opposed to gay Bible. Yeah, well, we jokingly said that Toad was going to do gay Bible on our channel. I don't know how that actually would have panned out. Let's see. What about a message app for us tards? I could easily make it if anybody wants to pay to host it. Well, I don't know anything about that because I'm retarded. But we have the Telegram and we have the Discord. You got to kind of go fishing for them through the Patreon because I don't know where they exist at the moment as far as the links, but we do have those, and it's a flourishing community. It's always popping. I've not turned off my notifications for it, and so I can tell you that just based off of the dings that I get, it's constant. It's constant. The Patreon is very alive. So and the Discord is as well. We'll support you if you do math. I would consider it. I don't know. I know a lot of you guys, I want to address the elephant. I didn't know there was a Patreon app. But this is what I'm saying. So for those of you that are confused, and I know the post caused a lot of confusion in the Patreon, this app existed for 10 minutes. 10 minutes before I got the call from Israel to shut it down. So it literally only existed for 10 minutes, and then I shut it down. So a lot of you guys would have missed that entirely. By the way, I just want to address the elephant in the room. So I was supposed to do a show Wednesday night, and a lot of you saw a post that said I wouldn't be doing it. I don't think I posted it in the Patreon, but I did post it in the Telegram and maybe in the Retarded Disciples chat on Twitter. What's that? That's for upper echelon retards. Now, the reason I didn't do the show is because I had spent the day with my wife in the hospital. She has been experiencing severe back pain, and I think basically what happened to her was a number of things. One, the back pain is keeping her from getting any sleep, so she was really in a bad place because of the lack of sleep. She gets like an hour to 2 of sleep per night. And she was just slamming Advil for like 3 months. 3 months daily. Every day Advil. Advil to go to sleep, Advil to get through the day. It wasn't just like 1 or 2 Advil. It was like Advil throughout the day, which obviously is terrible for you. But she was in this place where it's like she can't sleep. She can't do anything because of the pain. So she needs the Advil, but the Advil's destroying her gut. It's just like this I think Top called it like a dog chasing its tail, something like that. But yeah, it's a apt analogy. So she was getting blap, she was getting definitely not guamming, just straight blapping, and so it all kind of culminated in this moment where we just like, it was so bad we had to go to the hospital. Of course, the hospital does nothing for you. They check all her stuff. She's crushing, great vitals, yada yada, EKG. Blood work, everything is really checking out. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I do think this is, and I was having a conversation with my wife about this morning. I think it's a spiritual thing. Grandma was a witch, just like my grandma was, whatever she was, some sort of something or another. But unlike my grandma, her grandma didn't like her. So she gave her like cursed items as a child. She hated her because of the color of her skin, because grandma was of a light complexion and my wife is brown. And so grandma didn't like that, yada, yada, yada. She was the town in Peru. They would go to her and she would do all the witchcraft for you. You know what I mean? Like a shaman. And so, yeah, not good when that lady's not on your side. I think she cursed her. I think it's a curse. That's person. What is that? Already? No, that's not true. Dude, I can't. What is this?
No, the guy said his name was Race Car spelt backwards, and he bought you a drink.
Race Car spelt backwards. That's a trick. I happen to know that Race Car spelt backwards is still Race Car. Thank you, Race Car, for the drink, the sugary I'll have it. Thank you very much. I'm coming at you live from the Standard Coffee Shop, /NDS Studio /casino. You could always support the coffee shop. I don't know if I have a ticker for it. I don't have a ticker for it, but you could find it on Google. It's a Standard Coffee Shop in Lady Lake, Florida. You can call and support it. By the way, shout out to Ginger with a hard R. Many of the homies know who that is. He's the guy who sent the donated Bibles. He sent 60 Bibles that we then gave away for free to people who came in the shop. We got 4 left. So thank you very much, Ginger with a hard R, for such an awesome move, and they all found good homes. I got one of them right here. So that's huge. I just wanted to give him an update because I'm sure he's wondering if these things are moving. They are. They are. That's delicious. I don't know what that is, but it's really good. So yeah. Anyway, I do think what she's suffering from is something that's spiritual. I had a dream. I'm not going to get into the dream, but I had a dream that there was this old shitty woman. She was naked. It was horrible. That like cursed my wife and then was trying to like lie to me about God. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and I started praying. And I don't even remember. I was like almost on autopilot. Strange stuff. So that's why I couldn't make it. I think that's what's going on. I think my wife is receptive to my wife. And I think that we need to. So we've changed the diet. It's all basically keto now. Cut out the sugars. Cut out the refined carbs. Minimum on the complex carbohydrates. we're eating a lot of steak, up the fats, trying to reduce inflammation. My wife does I'm sorry, guys, does a lot of stretching and things of that nature. So we're trying to do as much work as possible because my thinking is I've been praying to God for some sort of breakthrough in this way. But like, I don't think that God is a fan of like when you petition him and then you don't do anything. You just like wait around, which is fine. I think there's something to be said about like having faith, but it's also like, I'm going to work my ass off too to make sure that we're not dumping poison into our bodies while praying to God to help us with this health related issue. You know what I'm saying? So, working out, eating right, et cetera, et cetera. And, I do think that God has been pulling back layers and revealing to me like what's going on. And even though it's been rough, I do think we're making progress. It's complicated, but that's why I couldn't make it here on Wednesday. And so I guess we'll get into the a little bit of the meat of the show. I have been hanging out, my wife and I want to say it, and just been enjoying each other's company. I spent the weekend. It was really nice. Went to go see some family. Got her out of the house, got her in the sunlight. Boop, 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 boop. I know God made carbs, but God didn't make refined carbs. I'm talking about, shitty bread products and crappy pastas and things like that. Obviously, we're eating, my carbs come mainly in the way of potatoes. I'm a big potato fan. Sweet potato, russets, big potato guy. So I've been eating a lot of potatoes with some kosher salt. Shout out to the rabbis. And some grass-fed butter. Dude, delicious. That and some steak, sweet potatoes, a little bit of salt, grass-fed butter, steak, and then we'll have some veggies on the side. I chopped up some Brussels sprouts and sauteed them the other day. I've been doing a lot of cooking. Your boy's been doing a lot of cooking. Anywho, so one of the things that we've been doing while we've been spending time together is watching this show. Maybe I could bring up some imagery for it here. Thank you, Jeep Eye. Jonathan says, you are quite the spud. I appreciate the pun. All right, so we're going to look this up here. The show is called Wayward on Netflix, okay? And it is a fascinating show. I wonder what IMDb has given it. Yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll share this tab. Boop. And we'll bring up some of the images here from Wayward. So I don't typically watch anything because it's all slop, if we're being perfectly honest. And my wife will be the first person to tell you I am a rough viewing partner. If you sit down and you watch a thing with me, you're going to be disappointed because all I'm going to do is critique it. I'm going to show you all the weird subliminals in the background. I'm going to tell you how there's an agenda that's been inserted into this narrative to try to get you to believe something politically or culturally or ideologically, whatever. And it's really a bitch to watch something with me. Hold on, let me sip upon this delicious drink from Race Car. That's good. Not good. I just said I'm not doing sugar and oh my God. You guys are animals. So now, this show is no different, but what got me interested in the show is that my wife, commentary every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes, I know, I'm terrible. I'm not sorry. So here we go. Wayward, and now you've got this lady from Hereditary, which Hereditary was a fascinating film. It's really about schizophrenia, I believe. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Might be worth the rewatch. But the idea here is that maybe I can get some images. This bitch is a therapist of sorts. And she runs a school, you can see here with all these students, where problem children who have just, their parents have exhausted every other avenue of rehabilitating this problem child, eventually do the thing, which a lot of us are familiar with, where you call this thing I think the Catch Me Outside girl was a victim of this. The Dr. Phil program helped set it up. She made a documentary about it. It's a facility in Utah for these problem kids. And it starts by a van pulling up in the middle of the night, bursting into your home and virtually kidnapping you in your sleep, you being the teenager. And then it's hands off for the parents, no contact. The only way to get out of the program is by consecutive bouts of good behavior. And so here, let's get this off the stage. Consecutive bouts of good behavior, and every time you do something wrong, you get a sort of a demerit of sorts, and that keeps you a step further from going home. But it's all really unreasonable crap. Like, you're not allowed to smile. Right? I was watching a documentary on a real. It was called The Institute, I believe, and it was about how you couldn't smile, you couldn't touch one another. There was a number of things you couldn't do, and it was all just like regular, human behavior. So fascinating, right? And yeah, there you go. Nephilim Murder Crew says the Paris Hilton treatment. Yes. So, it's a fascinating thing, and there is a psychological, supernatural element to this series. It's a series on Netflix, and that element is they're unlocking something supernatural within these kids through trauma. You got me. I want to watch it now, right? I want to watch it now. If you thought that this was going to be about that, what I'm saying right now, you're fucking wrong. You're so wrong. It's not about that. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to talk about the same old shit that I always talk about. I was basically furious. I was furious. Why was I furious? Chuck says MK Ultra. Exactly, Chuck. So you know that this is in our wheelhouse. This is up my alley. But there's a stumbling block, if you will, something that I couldn't get past. Maybe we'll bring this back up again, and I'll show you what it is that I couldn't get past. And I was pissed, dude. I was pissed. Right there. Can you guys see what it is? I'll let the chat guess a couple of times. You get 20 seconds of guessing. Does anybody know what the stumbling block was? What infuriated me? What made it so that I could not get past this? All right, I'm seeing some answers. I'm seeing some answers here. Here we go. All my favorite podcasts are covering serial killers and MK Ultra, and I am overwhelmed with all this info. Yeah. Boom! Chuck, you know us well. You know me well. Thank you very much, Kate V. I could not get over the fucking tranny. I was furious. Furious, because I'm trying to watch this thing. You guys know me, right? This is my bread and butter. This is fun. This is funsy onesies for me. I want to sit down with my wife. I want to watch this thing so that I could constantly elbow her and go, hey, I know about this thing. Hey, I know about this thing. I know about this thing. This is the thing I talk about all the time. Watch this part, watch that part. And there is stuff like throughout the film, like there's this imagery of the frog that keeps coming up, which I think has to do a lot with like transsexuals, because frogs are one of the few creatures in nature where you could actually observe. They're making the frogs gay. You know what I'm saying? The other thing that they keep showing is Pan, the lowercase g god Pan. They show it over and over and over again. And so it's like there is this like symbolism thing. There's something going on here. There's some portal imagery. Like, it's compelling. It's compelling. And Nephilim Murder Crew says use YouTube friendly language. Yes, yeah, my mistake. I don't know what the correct terminology is. Lady boys. I don't know if you could say that. I don't know what you can say. So yeah. Let's just get Pan has goat feet. Exactly, yeah. And it's like a Greek god of antiquity, rules over, I forget what it is. It's like nothing that's too compelling, although Pan does come up a lot. There is a verse in the Bible that talks about Pan worship, and I was looking this up the other night, but I forgot what it was. So okay, Transformers. Good call. Okay, so the police officer is a Transformer. And so there's a number of reasons why that makes me mad, because it's not only did they pick a Transformer, they also picked one. Like, if you picked a Michelle Obama to be a cop, I'd be like, well, yeah, might give you a hard time. Michelle Obama might give you a little bit of a hard time if you had to wrestle her, him, her, whatever. But that's not what they did. Actually, you know what? No, let's pull that back up, because what they did was they were like, we'll do a Transformer and it'll be like a twink. Bob. Excuse me. Maybe we could do this. We'll just type in Wayward Cop. It's funny because it says Wayward Cop, boy or girl. That was one of the results that came up. Obviously a girl. If you have to ask the question, I mean, it's quite obvious. Oh, that's interesting. The results may not be what you're looking for. See more anyway. That's a risky move. I don't think we want to do that. So all right, whatever. You guys get the point. It's a wispy lady that's now a male cop, and rough and tumble kind of a deal. And it's she has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend is pregnant, or whatever. I don't know if they're married, whatever. No, they're not married. So then you go like, okay, so it's not your kid either. So we're just adding extra layers of complication to this whole narrative. And I'm just trying to figure out about these kids and what's going on. They're getting brainwashed. There's trauma. There's, all this stuff. They're getting kidnapped in the middle of the night. And then they just keep cutting back to like, and the officer that's on the job is a Decepticon. So I'm like, it's frustrating. And I typically wouldn't do it. But I go, okay, whatever, man. Let's get through it. I'll just get past this, Decepticon, and we'll figure out what's going on here. And so the narrative continues, doodly doo. Of course, you have a couple of instances where there's some rough and tumble moments, and like this Decepticon rolls out and just like wins against a fully developed man. Whatever. Hey, it's Hollywood, and but whatever. Hey, it's fine, right? I just want to know about the supernatural element and the MK Ultra thing, and what's up with the pan symbolism. I just want to know what's going on, dude. And it gets to a point, and I had to throw the towel in. I threw the towel in for no reason at all, guys. And by the way. The girls that are getting kidnapped, they're like in a lesbian relationship. It's just like everywhere. It's just this LGBT bukkake, and you're just trying to learn, what is it? What's this show about? What is it about? And they just keep boom, they just keep doing it. So, okay. So, we watch this episode. It was pretty interesting. They start getting into some like real nitty gritty stuff. Like, what is this? The origins of this, this sort of program that they're putting these kids through. Well, it starts back in the day with like a psychedelic experience and a cult, and they have a breakthrough. And then this lady like refines that breakthrough and turns it into a whole program. So she's using psychedelics. She's using the trauma of the children. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting, dude. Fascinating. And then like the scene switches. And all of a sudden now we're having to bear witness to a sexual, encounter with Officer Megatron and the wife. And who's pregnant, whatever. So it starts off with like he's like crawling, or she is crawling on the ground towards the wife. And then she says like, stop. So they're playing this like sexual game of red light, green light. Like that's what's happening. And then again, Megatron stops and waits like a good dog. And then the wife goes like, go. And then Megatron starts crawling again. And then she says like, stop. And then Megatron stops again. And then something happens. And off comes the shirt. Which, by the way, they did it like 3 times throughout the series. They just kept popping the shirt of this bitch off to be like, I don't know, like, look how good the surgery is. You could barely tell that those are lady nipples, which, like, you could totally tell. You could totally tell it was lady nipples. So yeah, you know, they over and over again, like, a really important plot device is to pull the shirt off this Decepticon. And I'm just getting exhausted, dude. I really am getting exhausted. But when this happens, as soon as that shirt comes off, I get up and I go, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I honestly was furious. Zipper tits or not, I don't remember, because I'm really, like, I know this might sound silly to some people, but I'm, like, starting to boil with rage. Starting to boil with rage. And Chuck says, done like you came. Like, that was it, dude. I finished, and there's nothing left for me to do there. You know, because it's like I'm trying to watch this thing, and I'm sitting there with my wife, and it's like everything that Netflix and all this crap feeds you is so, it's these slow drips of indoctrination into ideological bullshit. And I just want to be able to watch something without you doing some ideological bullshit. Like, by the way, a little aside, and we'll get back to this, after we finish, because we did eventually finish the series, because I bowed out, and then my wife was like, well, I'm going to keep watching because there's like an episode or two left. And I'm like, fuck it, man, whatever. Like, so I didn't see that part. I came back and finished the series. Of course, they pulled, his Deceptic... They pulled the shirt off again. They couldn't, they just had to. But afterwards, I heard a lot of things about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I can't pronounce his first name. I heard a lot of really good things about it. And so I said, hey, let's start watching this. And then, we don't have to finish the whole thing because it was late, but we'll watch a little bit of it, see if it's any good. And, like, I want to say visually, it's like a masterpiece. It's really, really beautiful. The way that it's shot, the places that it's shot in, it's an aesthetic masterpiece so far. But, like, right off the bat, I'm like, wait a second. Dr. Frankenstein's gay. He's, like, eyeing up other dudes. I'm like, hey, man. Fuck you. Can I watch anything without this gay shit? It is beginning to boil my blood. And I don't watch anything. I'm not a guy that watches anything. But I would like to sit down with my wife and occasionally have a gander at something that could be entertaining, that's not going to make me furious. So yeah, even that, a half an hour into it, it was like, this motherfucker's gay. Okay, cool, great. This is supposed to be about, a monster and some scientist figuring out how to transcend death itself and all this other stuff, but he's just hungry for cock. Like, fuck you, dude. So I bow out of this show wayward, and I go, I'm fucking done. And it literally, like, it kind of ruins my night. Like, I'm pissed off now. I'm pissed off because, of everything that I just said. And so I missed that scene. My wife's kind of says, no, I know, Hinchy. I know it's like shit's been gay for 10 years. Like, I know, dude. I know. But, like, what? I don't know. It's like I'm really at, like, my wit's end. Like, I thought about this, and I wouldn't do this. But I thought about, like, imagine a story, and I'm not advocating for this, but imagine a story where, like, dude goes crazy, finds developers of, like, let's say Wayward, and breaks into their offices, finds the person that had to interject that narrative, and then goes, like, very cool, face the wall. And that story comes out in the news. I'm to the point where I would go, like, yeah, That's crazy. Because it's so much more. The more you look at it, the more nefarious it becomes. It's this, we talk about it all the time. It's an extension. It's funny because it's like it's about the MK Ultra program. This is an extension. Like all of this ideology crap is an extension of the MK Ultra program. It is to brainwash you in order to get you to self-destruct, not only in a cultural way, self-destruct by like implementing these ideologies in your own culture or allowing them to permeate your culture or allowing it to permeate the school systems or allowing it to, take place in the streets during an LGBT, what would you call it? Parade where they're in San Francisco sucking each other off in a baby pool. And the cops, everybody knows this story, right? And you go to the cops and you go, that's illegal. And they go, it's really not worth our time to get involved with that. So not only are you allowing this ideology to just, turn your whole country into Sodom and Gomorrah, but you're also, it's like a huge detriment to your spirit, like the spiritual implications. So that's how I look at these things now. So it makes me furious. I don't know. It's really gotten to a point now where maybe Hinchy's right. It's been there for the past 10 years, but is it me or is it in everything? It's in everything. Apparently it's in politics because now Donald Trump is sucking off Bill Clinton. What a powerful segue. What a powerful segue. So this is the big thing that's going on now. Guys, don't watch Wayward. Just watch Nephilim Death Squad and watch the episode with Gray Area Monarch. And you've got the whole plot to the show. The show Wayward. Don't worry about it. So we have a fascinating topic here. Actually, I think we should start off with the video that, well, we'll have a look at it first, and then we'll talk about what it is. Let's share this tab, and we'll bring this up on stage. So allegedly, it's a funny story. Elohim says Trump BJ wasn't on my 2025 bingo card. Me either. But it's a lot of fun. So here we go. Let's watch the video and then we'll unpack it a little bit. A second Clinton blowjob has hit the White House. That's very funny. Now in a leaked email, the brother of Jeffrey Epstein, Mark Epstein, asks if Vladimir Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Bill Clinton has been known as Bubba. So clearly this is an AI fakery, this video. Very funny. Very funny video. I I just like how he's slapping his balls and then he slaps his belly. It's very wholesome in that way. So Sora AI, whatever it is that made this, that's a conversation in its own in how far it's come. Why is Trump trying to make Bill hard? I don't think. Do you think? I don't think this is real. I don't think this is real at all. That actually is the Bro Grove handshake, Scott. I will have to change it now. It was supposed to be a secret, and now that's an OG photo, right? So that photo that Silly Goose is referencing is what they used as the basis for this AI. I believe. I do believe. So no, I don't think this video is real, but I do think it's it comes from that photo. You just would have never been, but I don't think anybody's claiming that this is real. That would be a silly, right? They call it the Richard. So, but it does stem from something a little bit bigger than that. So we'll go ahead and pop that on there real quick. That we were talking about an email. I don't think that see, there is a photo associated with it. And the photo, well, we'll see it here in a moment here. Let's just share this tab. And we'll put this on stage. So I don't even think that's real. So you have this picture in the bottom right-hand corner of Trump kind of grasping at, and I don't think that's the original picture. I think that is just a still frame from the video that we just watched. So I don't think that that's real either. I mean, here we go. From Mark L. Epstein. This is March 21st, 2018. The subject is, hey, the importance is high. Very high importance. It says, I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes. That's from Mark Epstein. And then one comes in from Jeffrey Epstein. It says, you mean Donnie T. So I guess they're just going back and forth, having some fun. I don't know I don't know how emails are structured. I don't know what's happening here, but it says you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. And this was I don't even know what the fuck how this is all structured. And I thought I had troubles. So this is just this back and forth correlation between Mark and Jeffrey, and then it says ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Bubba is a well-known nickname of Bill Clinton. Is it? Is Bubba a well-known nickname of Bill Clinton? I mean, Trump blowing anybody is very funny to me. Admittedly, exponentially funnier if he's blowing Bill Clinton. He goes on to say, all good, Bannon with me. And then I guess the original one says, how are you doing? A while back, you mentioned that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? That's nice. What is your boy Donald up to now? Oh, okay. So I guess it actually goes that way. It goes, what's your boy Donald up to now? All good, Bannon with me. I don't know. I don't get it. But whatever this email is, it's insinuating that, Putin might have some dirt on Donald Trump about blowing Bill Clinton. I don't know. Russiagate, interesting. What do you guys think? That's why Melania turns away every time he goes to kiss her. If they replaced Bill with Bibi, it would be more believable, just saying. Could be a code name. I don't know. I mean, I imagine that too. If you're a big MAGA character, this is a devastating blow. And look, I'll be very candid with you. In this coffee shop, there are quite a few people who pass in and out, and they pray to the Lord for protection over the Republican Party, and they pray for the protection of Donald Trump, et cetera, et cetera. And just knowing how, they're boomers, they're 80. This information hasn't and probably won't reach them for some time, whatever this information is, if it's even real. But I imagine they'll take it pretty hard. They'll take it pretty hard. You know who else takes it pretty hard? Donald Trump, apparently. I don't know. Who knows if this is real? My brother said that if the public knew everything he knew about Trump, they would have canceled the election. And that's Mark Epstein. They all shit on each other. Oh, my God. I almost stopped this video because the beginning was the most annoying thing I've ever heard. Ascension thoughts. Well, I mean, I get it. It is annoying. I do love that music, though, and not taking anything too hard from a name like Ascension Thoughts. But I appreciate the input. Trump once sucked my dick, so I'm pretty sure he sucked at Clinton. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, none of it would surprise me, but I also don't know that I believe this to be true. It would be really funny. It would be super, super funny to me if this was true. But I'm not going to just jump on the bandwagon and assume because I could see the way this is structured. Like, oh, look, that's an email. You could see the way that it's there's replies. So therefore this must be real. Like, I don't know what this is, dude. I don't know what this is. I really like that video though. It's very funny. Let's have another gander. Oh, I got to like bring it up and stuff. Yeah, we could do that. Boop. Very funny. Well, no. Let's watch it one more time. I love it. I love that Bill Clinton's the slaps sound the same all the way through, from balls to belly. It all sounds the same. There's a leaked email. Uh-oh, no! What's happening here? Oh, this is crazy, though. Guys, holy crap. I mean, let's just take a moment and look at the way. So AI has taken this one photo, but then it just totally fleshes out the rest of the room.
Sit down if you want to.
I didn't know who I'm.
Look at it. It puts sauces. What do they got? Pizza pockets? AI puts pizza pockets on the. Everything is just so realistic looking. Man, is that a tube TV in the cabinet?
Not me, or what they might ask.
You ever been on a real shrimp boat?
No, but I've been on a real big boat.
I'm talking about a shrimp catching boat. I've been working on shrimp boats all my life. I started out on my uncle.
I mean, really, guys, it's incredible. It is incredible what AI has. It's done. We have crossed the uncanny valley. I would say there's still a little bit of an issue with things like the sound, but there are some videos that are more convincing than others where you hear like dialogue and background noise. We're like pretty damn close, but that's about the only thing that gives it away, and boomers aren't going to catch it.
That's my mama's brother. When I was about maybe 9, I was just looking and buying a boat of my own. Dog.
I hate it. I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to watch it anymore. Oh my god. It's so funny. The sound is the biggest tell. Yeah, for now, right? It definitely is, but that's only for now. Anyone over 50 won't catch it. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, the Masonic aprons. It's a holy kiss. I think that was an unholy kiss, Scott. That was specifically an unholy kiss. Oh, man. That was rough. Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and we'll open up the lines after listening to a few voice memos. Guys, 321-209-8551. If you call now, you could leave a voice memo. We'll play the voice memo before we get into opening the lines. I want to know what you guys think about this. Do we believe that Donald Trump sucked off Bill Clinton? Or maybe you've seen the show Wayward. I'd like to know your thoughts on that too. Or if you just want to call and blap it up, get to Guamin', I'm cool with that. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to go make a pee-pee, and then we will be back. Big, beautiful Bill. He's very big. All right, here we go. I love that music. Oh, I love it. Hey, actually, before we get into, why is that so dark, huh? Before we get into the voice memos, I do want to ask you guys, do any of you guys have any thoughts on the Buddhism episode? I posted about it because I had a feeling there would be some feedback on it. Excuse me, disgusting. And I did it on Patreon. And yeah, you guys got like super vocal. Super vocal. So I wonder, do you guys have any I can't find a good way to put this damn arm, dude. Any thoughts on it? Anything to say? Kate says, I liked it. Okay. Jason was fine. Yeah, well, so I didn't think it was that contentious at all. And I thought he had a lot of really fascinating things to say, and I like Jason. But I was like, damn, dude. You motherfuckers is mad on Patreon. Not mad at us for hosting it, but like mad at... Oh. Anti-Species just says he's fine. There's a difference between it was fine and he's fine. You know, it's very funny though. Okay, so check this out. After the show, what the fuck is going on here, man? After the show, number one, I know that Jason, I think he became a Patreon member, and he was like, he was going to crack back at you guys. And I listened later without the chat. It was a good conversation. Okay, all right. Cho says, I felt bad after the fact that he could see it, especially hearing Matt talk about you never know where somebody is on their journey. Yes, that's a solid point. So, but I went to go, I don't know if I tagged him. I think I still need to tag him on an Instagram post. And when we made the Instagram post, and I will say it was flattering. It was good. It painted him in a good light, and it, unnecessarily so, right? It's like you don't have to paint him in a good light. It was a good episode. Guests can see the live chat. I was not aware of that until after the show. And then after the show, I was like, he can't see the live. He didn't know you couldn't see the live chat, right? And Top was like, no, yeah. He could totally see the live chat. And I was like, oh, God. It was like, wow. Because you guys are assholes. So, and I go on his page to see, like, what's up on his Instagram. And I got to admit, dude. And there was a chick that commented, by the way. And she was just like, seems like people are projecting quite a bit of their own thoughts onto Buddhism. But she commented that on the Instagram post, which is 1 minute of Jason looking awesome. And the conversation looking awesome. So, like, she didn't watch the clip. And I was like, I had a feeling, I was like, this must be somebody close to him who's, like, defending him, but didn't watch this clip. Because if you watched the clip, you'd have been like, this looks like it crushes. And I went on her page. I think it is. It might be his girlfriend or something. They all have the same content. And I got it. This is one of my biggest problems with Buddhism. Okay? Interesting perspective. Oh, okay, we're going to go back. We're going to check the church in a second. Check the church. Check the chat. One of my biggest problems with Buddhism is the fruits that it bears. And the fruits that it bears are fucking white women doing this. Fucking white women just fucking dancing like this in a tank top with some swishy pants, fucking doing this shit. And I don't know what that is. I don't think God likes it. I don't think that God likes it when white women do that. And so if there was any criticism that I had, it would be that whatever you're doing, let me tell you something. What we're doing, nary a one, not a single white woman ever gets around us and fucking does that. They fucking never do it, dude. They never do it. So if what you're doing is making that shit happen, you got to get right with God. I don't think God likes it when they do that. I don't think they like it. I don't think he likes it. I don't think anybody likes it. I don't know why white women keep doing it. Has nobody ever gone, hey, white woman, the fuck are you doing? What's that? What is that? The fuck are you doing? So if whatever your spiritual beliefs are, that you do, like, you know, you get together and you fucking go, okay. No, I see there's a lot of interesting points here in these texts. Oh, what a fascinating philosophy. I could see the benefits of implementing these practices in my own life. And then you come away from it and you go, after some thought, all things considered, it's wrong then. It's all wrong. The whole thing is wrong and you've got to throw it away now. Because if that's what you do after that, it's wrong. You can't practice it anymore. So I was kind of like, I talked to him and I was like, this is interesting. And maybe we gave him a little bit of like, you know, pushback and stuff like that, which I think was fair. And it was mild pushback. And I was just asking questions. Right. But after then peeling back the layers and looking at and finding that when I peeled back the layers, underneath the layers were just countless white women, you know, twisting through the air, I go, oh, you got to kill them all. I was wrong. This is, I don't know if I'd call it witchcraft. It's insulting to witch, because even witches, when they get together, they just kind of skip around a fire. I don't know. I think a lot of witches do that shit. What is this, though? Why do you take the one arm and you fucking go and you twist through the air? Where are you going, bitch? What is that? Why are you doing that? What is it that compels you to do that? I don't know. I've been going back and forth because you know, we had the conversation. I thought it was good. I gave him some pushback. There were some things he couldn't answer. I asked him at one point, I said, what does Buddhism do about things like sin or repentance? And he was just like, I'd be interested to hear what John Lenhart has to say about that. And I was like, you're the Buddhist. Yeah, the dreadlocks thing is also very bad. I just think there's a real problem here when it comes to sin, and when it comes to repentance, and when it comes to redemption, and the gratitude that you have, not just for like God and his creation and your life, but like who made the way for you? And there's just none of that. And I'm like, that's pretty huge, dude. That's pretty huge. So I can understand how practicing Buddhism could leave you in harmony with like your body and nature and doodly doo, but what about sin? What about redemption, salvation? I mean, geez, it doesn't even tackle the issue of the Nephilim. Got a real problem, Buddhism. Buddhism is works based on, I have a few real Buddhist relatives. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let me go through here and see if anybody says anything. If she weighs the same as a duck, she's made of wood and therefore a witch. Agreed. I asked the same question in the chat. What about sin, redemption, and salvation? Yeah, huge issues. I'd like to know. And then, a lot of my issue too was just like, the Bible says X, Y, and Z. Did you know that Buddhism says X, Y, and Z? Fascinating, no? And I go, yes. So it seems the Bible has that covered. It mimics a serpent. The winding arms of the women. The winding arms of the women mimics a serpent. Yeah. Pattern recognition. They do the smelliest orgies. I don't know that. Stop it. Whoop my baby mama hoe ass. What an assumption. What an assumption. Sounds like a disordered, innate desire to worship God that has been weaponized. Interesting. He looks like he's whipping and nay. Is that how you whip and nay? That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll allow it. Yeah, I don't know, man. The inflatable waving arm guy. Yeah. I mean, it's I was won over to whatever degree, at least in the way that, like, maybe, just maybe, Buddha's not the ninth incarnation of Vishnu, the destroyer, the lowercase g god / demon of the Vedic pantheon. Okay. I'll put down my weapons. But when I look at Buddhist people, I'm kind of disgusted. I'm kind of disgusted with what I find. The pants. And they look comfy. I'll get it out of the way. Yeah. The pants look comfy. Okay. But that, like, no shoes, floppy pants, tank top, dirty hair, beaded bracelet, pagan necklace combo? No shoes, floppy pants, tank top, dirty hair, beaded bracelet, pagan necklace combo? Can't stand it. I can't stand it. No bra. Can't stand it. Put some cups on your tits. Stop flopping them about. Put on some fucking pants. Would it kill you to have a button and a zipper? Be decent. Wash your feet. I can't. It's just so. You know why? Because I look at you and then I go, oh, I know all the sounds you're about to make. And the sounds are like really gross love bombing. You know, like that really fake version of love that they're just going to. That's not true, Genghis Guam. But yeah, that's what's going to come next is when you start speaking, you're going to say shit to me. Like, you're going to call me like, I don't know. You're going to start saying shit like Star Child. You're going to use words like ascension. You're going to call me dearest one. You're going to tell me about how much you love me and how heard I am. How seen I am. Come here so that you could be felt and heard and seen. And I got nothing makes me want to fucking punch a white woman in the chin more than when she tells me that I am seen and I am heard and I'm special. I really can't stand it. I'm glad you guys feel exactly the same way as me. Honestly, though, I did feel bad. And then, like I said, he popped up in the Patreon and he was like, I forgive you for misunderstanding me, which is like, good on you, mate. Good on you. David, you're just a lost star seed searching for ascension. I guess. Who isn't? AJ Brooks? Who isn't? This is how I feel, yeah. Exactly. Like, bro, I don't care how great they are. Put them the fuck away. Which camera are we looking at? Put your tits away. Nasty. Put your tits away. The fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Put a sweater on. Put him in something. Put him in something. The fuck are you doing? All right, we're going to get to a couple of voice memos. Share this tab. How are we going to do this? These ladies on the other side of the wall are having an AA meeting, and I'm just screaming, put your tits away. You know what? That's another one, too, though. I don't know if you mean this jokingly or not, but when people say, like, oh, my God, I love this for you. Hey. Get the fuck away from me. I love this for you. I love this for you. I love this for you. That's how I feel. All right. So we're going to play some clips. Have we talked about Trump sucking off Bubba? Yes, we have. Bless your heart is a little bit, that's okay. That's like a Southern backhanded, that's fine. Don't worry. Not on the other side of that wall. All right. What are we going to do here? How do I do this? I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, we can keep it, and this is on stage. Okay, we have a couple of voice memos. I'm going to open up the lines, and we'll take some calls. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play this. Tell me if you guys can hear it.
Hi, David. This is Chuck from Guam.
Did you guys hear that? Kinda. No. Yes, but echo. Echo? Really? What's that mean? How would there be an echo? Echo. It's echoing. That's strange. I don't know. We've never gotten that before. You're hearing an echo? Maybe it's coming through my headphones and feeding back into the mic? Let me try pulling my gigantic head back. All right, I'm going to play it again. I'll monitor the chat.
Hi, David. This is Chuck from Guam. Yes, it's a real place. And I just wanted to call and tell you how much I appreciate y'all. My history was I remember listening and seeing stuff from Tommy G on some conspiracies, followed their podcast.
Tommy G. Tommy G. I don't think I know Tommy G.
When Union of the Unwanted, talking about Sam Tripoli, starting to follow him and listen to all his podcasts, and him and Josie were mentioning you guys through Tower Gang.
Wow. That's early. That's really early. So Tommy G to Union of the Unwanted, Union of the Unwanted to Sam Tripoli to Josie to Tower Gang. That's hilarious.
And not yet Dangerous Retards, but everything through Tower Gang, and then it was like there's this Nephilim Death Squad.
So that to Tower Gang, yeah, and then Nephilim Death Squad.
The word Nephilim is very interesting. So I started following you as a disgusting poor, and I had to cancel a few other podcasts to finally be a Patreon so I could join the mean people in the chats.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's what happens is you leave the disgusting pores to then basically join a group of terrible people. Terrible people. Dude, I'll tell you what. It sounds like a PA. There's nothing I can do about it. It almost feels like a lifetime ago. You know, like all that stuff, like Tower Gang and Josie and everything. I haven't talked to Josie in a long time. It kind of like that bridge kind of got burned in a way. And I don't know. I don't think there's any hard feelings, but there's like, nothing to hang out about type of deal. But like all that feels like it was so long ago. I remember Top got on Union of the Unwanted. And I think he gave Steve Poikonen some real shit. Because at that time, Steve had recently been on Tinfoil Hat and was talking about this concept of controlled opportunist. And he was alluding to us, Nephilim Death Squad. And it was so obvious that he was alluding to us being controlled opportunists, whatever that means. Because it's like, it's not enough to be controlled opposition. Now you can be a controlled opportunist where you're like, you're fed controlled without even being aware of it. So now we've lowered the bar. Like, no longer are you an operative, but you're like an unknowing, unwitting fool. And that's that, so it was so obvious that that's what he was talking about. Which, yeah, this did start the Steve Wilkos moon map debacle, which I'm very ashamed about. It's not one of my shining moments. I think I got lost a little bit in my rage and my contention for Steve Pokemon. But it was so obvious he was talking about us that Tripoli cut him off, and he said, well, for example, guys like Nephilim Death Squad. And he's like, those guys are great. They're working hard. I have helped them. And this is when Steve was even kind of alluding to Tripoli being some sort of like gatekeeper or something like that. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's all very exhausting. But what we did is we just kind of dragged him around like insane people. But yeah, so that all kind of came from that moment, that Sam Tripoli thing, and then the Union of the Unwanted thing, and then from then on, we just went on a psychopathic rampage on Twitter about our moon map. I hear him on Union of the Unwanted sometimes. Clint too. Yeah, I wonder how Clint. I know Clint's dad passed away. Which is a big bummer. I know they were very close. I reached out, but, not surprising. No response. But, I mean, I get it. You close the door, there's no reason to go back through the door. Dragging seed drinkers was far worse for everybody than the moon map goofing. That was a lot of fun. The Box Saga guys. That was brutal. Those Box Saga boys got dragged. It was a lot of fun. It's funny. I just forget about all the things we've been through, It's only been 2 years, but it's been a lot in 2 years. Shout out to the Box Saga bros. I don't hold any. If you want to drink cum, who am I? Who am I to say you can't drink cum? With the right attitude, you can drink anything. Okay, let's finish this up. A little trip down memory lane.
Upgraded to retardio or retardio, and I just got to tell you, man, I really appreciate everything y'all doing. I always have a heart for people like me who are the island of misfit toys.
Amen. The island of misfit toys. That's one I toss around often. It's very much what I think all of this is.
Had a life before we found Jesus, and still love the people that are like us. And I just love, all the dangerous retards that listen and say mean stuff in the chat and just have a good time. And the dangerous retards are, as I call them, the Nephilim babies.
That's
keep
hilarious.
it up. We'll keep praying for you. Out.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I don't want to become, and I don't think we have the capacity to become, what the church is. I see a lot of people, they'll comment to me and they'll be like, oh, don't go in this direction. Like, don't change who you are. You guys are super real. And that's what drew me to you in the first place. I'm like, I don't think we're going to change who we are. Any change that you've seen, the only reason it's taken place at all is probably a healthy fear of God. I just don't think that you declare a belief in Jesus and then ask Jesus to be in your life and be your savior. And then, you're crossing this line where now that's who you're with. And then you just engage in like terrible shit. So I could feel like over time, my heart changes, and maybe that's a big reason why I can't watch shit like Wayward without being kind of infuriated. But at the end of the day, there's only so much that we can change, right? I mean, I'm not gonna be a pastor, and I'm certainly not gonna pretend that I'm something that I'm not. I'm kind of a retard from the gutter, who maybe is a little charismatic and has some interesting ideas and believes in Jesus. That's kind of it. I think it's safe to say a full stop after that. And I think also if I started to try to be something that I'm not, I would not have fun. It wouldn't be fun for me anymore. So I just want to do whatever God wants me to do. And thankfully, God is very patient and allows me to continue to stumble around like a moron. And, so it's not like you believe in Jesus and you ask him to come into your life and then all of a sudden you become like this, buttoned up homosexual. I don't think that's it. Anti-Species says, Sam Tripoli says, he's following Jesus. I am waiting to see the fruit. He's always sharing hose butts on Instagram. Yeah, well, it's like a slow journey. You know what I mean? I look at it like you have these things. You're like walking through the desert and you have these things that you hold on to. And these things are like what you think are you. And you might sort of envision them as like pieces of armor, pieces of clothing or whatever. And maybe you got a weapon that you do this with. Like, let's say like TopLobsta, his weapon is like, just slicing people apart on Twitter. So you might imagine it as a sword, right? And it's like when you believe and you start dedicating yourself and you ask God, like, your plan, whatever your plan is better than my plan. Let's do that. And you start moving in that direction, and like God starts guiding you and, course correcting you. And you don't just like throw it all on the ground and start moving. You might even like swing the sword a little bit, but like it just doesn't, you starts to not swing the same. And then eventually it doesn't bring you the same thing that it used to bring you. So you might drop the sword. Or maybe this thing you used to defend yourself used to be really good and it was really like well polished and this is how, but it kind of gets like scuffed up and then like something happens, it's uncomfortable. So you detach it and let it fall off. And like, it's like you're moving through the world and you're kind of dropping things off slowly. So I don't think that it's like, in reality, it's not like this thing where you just drop it all. And now you're just like entirely renewed in Jesus. Maybe for some people it is. But I do think that God is patient. And as long as you're not like stopping, turning around and going back and picking up all that shit that you dropped, I don't think it's indicative of you being a bad Christian because you swing the sword every once in a while. It's like, well, let's swing the sword a little bit and then a little bit less and then a little bit less. And then like, ideally you drop it and you don't pick it up anymore. And I think that's probably more what it looks like. Yeah, don't return to vomit. Sam is a gentle soul. I love him. He brought me here to NDS and helped me so much during the lockdown and crap. I on the topic of Sam Tripoli, I think he is more Christian than a lot of self-proclaimed Christians, because he is kind and he's generous and he spreads positivity. And it's like, just because he doesn't have this ironclad theology down and he doesn't have a relationship with like scripture, he's pursuing the truth, and the truth is always going to lead you to Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the life, right? So it's like, in that way, a pursuit of the truth is a pursuit of God. So he's always been about the truth. He's always been incredibly kind and generous, right? He's just got these things that, honestly, it's like, I think the most valuable members of the kingdom of God are going to have the biggest demons hanging off of them, because they kind of know, right? Like, I do think there's they know like what your destiny is, who you're meant to be. And like, yeah, they'll cling on to you and they'll try to drag you down. He listens to Bible read by Johnny Cash. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Top is in the chat. He said abundance. Yeah, dude. That's exactly what Sam Tripoli practices, is abundance. Like, there's a couple of people that I've met throughout my life that are very, very like genuine. Sam Tripoli is exactly who he is in real life as he is on the podcast. You know, maybe toned down a little bit. I don't even know if you could say that. BlueLetterBible.com is free and amazing. It is. It is free and amazing. I saw somebody comment like, "Oh, dude, don't go towards Blue Letter Bible. You guys are going to be." Everybody is very worried about our compromising and doing some fake shit because we want to appeal to a more Christian audience, or we want to, I don't know. I guess really that's it. And I just don't think like that's, you don't got to worry about that. You don't got to worry about that. Just hang with us. It's a journey. I don't know where we're going to go. I have no idea where we're going to go. Wherever God wants us to go is where we're going to go. That's what I hope. That's what I pray for. So, don't worry about it. It's going to be all right. Okay, let's see. We got another voicemail, and then we're going to open up the lines. We got two more voicemails, and we're going to open up the lines. Boop. Let's go here.
Hi, Raven. Zach from Michigan here.
Hello, Zach from Michigan.
Long-time listener, Patreon member, Cash App donator. Your episode on starseeds kind of got me a little triggered. Brought up some stuff.
There's a lady that's in the back. It's Matt with 3 T's. Such a jokester. This lady's up at the counter talking about Pleiadians and starseeds. And he goes, "Go talk to the Raven. He loves that stuff." So I'm sitting here setting up for this show. Lady walks in and goes, "Big into the Pleiadians, huh? I'm a bit of a starseed myself." I mean, something like that. And I go, "Huh?" She goes, "Yeah. I think Jesus was an ascended master. It's not something that I think is doctrine or that I practice, but I have my suspicions." And I go, "Well." She's back there in an AA meeting right now.
My dad passed about 3 summers back, just real suddenly from a heart attack, and that with some other stuff was bringing up a bunch of feelings, so I, for the first time, decided to, talk to a therapist.
The rapist.
And this lady was cool. I found her through some resource network with my insurance, and she was giving me some good insights, but then about 3 sessions in, she asked me if I knew what a starseed was, and she's telling me she thinks that I'm actually some, I don't know, angel or alien or...
No, dude. That's not true. Is this true? Zach from Michigan, are you messing with me, dude? That happened? Because that's crazy. I mean, you just think about like paying a professional and they go like, "I think you're an angel." Oh my God, bro. That's crazy. Like, you're getting paid, you bitch. He has an echo too. I don't know why everybody's got an echo. It's weird that you guys are hearing that. Don't drink star seed. Yes. Is a star seed like an indigo child? Yeah. And my I think my grandma thought she was an indigo child or some shit. I don't know. Scott says, where's my Mason? She's up working. You know, by the way, I had some guy spurge out on me. Why does Raven get a solo show and the first thing he does is bring an underage girl on the show? What's happening? In all caps. She's like 21, dude. And also, fuck you. I'll do what I want. If I want to scold a young girl with their whole future ahead of her and try to convince her not to engage in road rage because it's incredibly dangerous, then I'm going to do that. Get your own show, you homo. That's for you. Yeah, this is a crazy sentence. Go talk to the Raven is such a wild phrase to hear in a coffee shop. And the next thing I say every time is, you can call me David. It's fine. It's been nice to meet you. I'm David. You don't have to call me Bird because I'm a man with a name. Could I get a quick rundown on a starseed? I'm behind. Took a short vacation. A starseed. I don't even want to say it that loud because this lady's going to hear me. Yeah, maybe for another time. Okay, let's continue on with. I'm sorry, it's just a really crazy thing to me that you go to a resource network recommended therapist, rapist, whatever, with your insurance, and she's getting paid through your insurance, and she's like, "I think you're an angel or a starseed."
Both sent, you know that whole gay shit. So I was like, okay, I was kind of letting her talk because she was giving me some good insights. But then the next session, at the end of it, she's saying, I know we're running a little long and I'm not going to charge you for it, but you have a few more minutes to watch a video. And she played this video
About what? About the Galactic Federation of Light? Dude, I swear to God, if you got a therapist that your insurance is paying and she's showing you videos about the Galactic Federation of Light, I've been on the edge lately about everybody in the mental health field, psychiatrists, therapists, psychologists, et cetera, et cetera. Most of that practice pops up around the same time the MK Ultra program does, and they work in tandem. And a lot of these experts, mental health experts, are actually acting as a selection process for these programs. And they're prescribing SSRIs that put you in a disassociative state. Like, I think the whole thing is nefarious. I've actually been going super south on mental health in a big way. And if I swear to you, dude, if I unpause this and she sent you a Galactic Federation of Light video.
how Mother Earth is being destroyed and climate change and through, man's actions, and basically trying to tell me the whole spiel that all these different ascended masters or whatever entities, or when people are having those experiences, that whole nonsense. So,
Yeah, that's it, dude. That's it. The Gaia Network, Mother Earth, Gaia. We have to avoid the big calamity. Ascended Masters and Pleiadians make up the Galactic Federation of Light. Hey, guys, though, thank God I have a well-oiled background in bullshit. How many Buddhist chicks are also on SSRIs? Gaia is sketch. Yeah, it's all sketch. It's all sketch. But this is literally everything that I was subjected to when I was a kid. Like, I saw all this. It is all part of one really big, convoluted. I don't want to call it I guess I can call it a psyop, but it's not launched by the intelligence agencies. It's launched by entities, spiritual entities. Ugh, man. Stephen Greer, what my baby mama hoe ass is, what's the name of the guy with the mouth? Dude, it's a horrifying mouth. Stephen Greer. Captain Planet says it's real. Oh, that's true. Yeah, there you go. Stephen Greer. He's a piece of work. Stephen Greer's got a big, it's just a mess over here. in that area. That's crazy, dude. I can't believe she's showing you Galactic Federation of Light videos.
Story short, I just ended up cutting ties and not ever hitting her back up for.
Good. She probably would have banged you. By the way, just think about that. I want you to think about that, Zach. Your mental health professional recommended to you by the Resource Network, paid by your insurance, is feeding you YouTube propaganda that I was already on when I was 16. And I'm not saying, Zach, that means that I'm like profound. I'm saying she's retarded. But when a 16-year-old is watching Gaia Network, Galactic Federation of Light crap, by themselves on their girlfriend's computer at 2 a.m. quietly, because I'm not supposed to be there because I'm homeless at the time and I had to like sneak in through a window. And instead of just going to sleep, this is what I did. No harm, no foul. But when your mental health professional that's a huge foul. Huge. I mean, this is a person that has the ability to make some calls and recommend some things and put you in touch with some experts and have you put on some, drugs that they'll teach you or they'll tell you is a good, and it could be massively to the detriment of your future. How wild is that, guys?
More sessions, but just thought you'd like to hear that connection. Just really, really bizarre. She was. Other than that, she was okay. But I was like, yeah, I'd rather not continue this dialogue. So, have a good one, man. Love what you guys are doing. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Zach. Very cool to hear from you. By the way, you know what she does? She does this, dude. She fucking does that. She does that. That's what she does. So she wakes up, she goes to work. Therapist, the rapist by day. Fucking snake arms by night. This bitch she's wearing wavy pants. No shoes, wavy pants, tank top, dirty hair, beaded bracelet, pagan necklace. That's fucking crazy. My wife says, "You're great at interpretive dancing." She was there with me when I was like, "Baby, look at these white women. Look at the way they dancing. What is that? The fuck is that?" She's wearing no pants. She doesn't support capitalism. Right. I bet the rapist has white dreads. Yeah. Stop it, Genghis Guam. Don't reduce me to my outerwear like I have done to these white women. No shoes, wavy pants, tank top, beaded bracelet, dirty hair, pagan necklace. Imagine being so precious to the Almighty himself that he breathed his own breath of life into you, and this is your essence, and then you think, starseed is cool. Laughing my ass off. Formed by his hand intentionally with love, not seeds from nothing. We just need the starseed. Was it the starseed shuffle to cure your wife's back pain? Obviously. Crazy. That's really crazy to me that's coming from. I guess it's not crazy. When we were watching this show, my wife and I were watching this show about these kids in this program, in this tranny car. Transformers more than meets the eye. Don't ban me, YouTube. I was talking about how, if you take a kid into these programs, that is just a little bit like aggressive. Because I know 16-year-olds that'll give you the business. Damn, that's so crazy. Top says, I know a therapist who is transitioning her kid. The story is mild. That's the same thing, right? I mean, she was trying to transition him. But like, you know, there's some 16-year-olds that'll like, yeah, go ahead. Try to wrangle this 16-year-old. Try to lock him up in this thing. He's going to beat the crap out of a couple of these guards. And like, you might sedate him or whatever, but you guys are going to be scared of him. And then I started thinking, like, when I was a kid, my cousin who was schizophrenic, he had a lady in his head who would tell him to run away from everywhere. So sometimes we would be in class and all of a sudden you'd hear a kid go, look, and you'd look to the thing, to the window, and you would see my cousin, who was a grade younger than me, and he's just like running, you know, climbs the fence out of the schoolyard, and now he's running through the park that was adjacent to the school, and then they're trying to grab him, and he's slippery, and like they always got him. He also would take dumps in the urinal. He was one of the kids that would, you know, he'd pee with his pants around his ankles. But I would walk into the bathroom sometimes and I'd find him. He'd be pooping in the urinal. And I go, what are you doing, man? That's not what that's for. So anywho, and that got me to thinking when I was diagnosed with ADHD, they also diagnosed me with something else that I didn't, because ADHD was what was really popular at the time. So this secondary diagnosis didn't mean anything to me. I was just excited to go back and tell my teachers who thought I was just retarded. Well, I guess that I was, but that like I have a excuse. And like honestly, I was like, I wanted them to feel bad. I remember that feeling of like being pumped about the diagnosis, wanting, and honestly, by the way, that is what a lot of adults fall victim to. When you get diagnosed with, that's what gives rise to self-diagnosis. Oh, I have anxiety, I have depression, I'm bipolar, I have this, I have OCD, yada, 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 but you've never actually been diagnosed with it. It comes from the same emotion that drove me as like a 13-year-old. I just learned that it was wrong pretty early, but you guys didn't. You're adults and you're still doing this shit. So special boy syndrome. Atma just nailed it. Yes. So that's the whole thing is, Emily said it. I got diagnosed with oppositional defiance disorder, which to me meant nothing at the time. And honestly was one that I more so laughed at, was this idea that like I had a clinical diagnosis for having a problem with authority figures. My dad wasn't around. So when I was younger, you know, what you call ODD, I just called, you're not my dad syndrome. You know what I mean? Like that's all it was just like if my dad wasn't around, like I wasn't going to listen to anybody. But I guess in hindsight, so I'm just saying for me, if you tried to lock me in an institution, I would have run away. It would have been a real hard time. I don't think I would have ever submitted. I've never been built like that. I would have found a way. Like if you put me in an institution in the woods, like, dude, I'm going to run. I might die in the woods, but like never been one for thinking ahead. So I probably wouldn't have thought about that. I would have just escaped. I would have escaped. There's simply no way. But you see like a lot of these other people, like they'll fold. But I do think it's funny because it's like, am I really that smart? Am I like, is being a conspiracy theorist me being wiser than other people? Or did I really actually have like a thing because my dad wasn't around that made me reject authority? So in every step of the way, when we were supposed to trust the experts, I was like, no, I'm not. You're not my dad. You're not my dad. Like, is that all that happened to me? Is like my dad abandoning me? Did it prepare me for like the vid? That's hilarious. That's actually very funny. Like I was never smart. I was never like I never had any keen insight that other people didn't have. That everything was just birthed out of, you're not my dad. That's probably true and funny. I don't know. I kind of think that's hilarious. All right. Let's continue on here. Zach from Michigan, thank you for calling. Here's another one. Let's go.
It's for me, Emily, the bane of TopLobsta's existence.
Hello, Emily, the bane of TopLobsta's existence.
Everybody. Point number one, as far as Bill Clinton goes. Kathy O'Brien told us many, many moons ago, and several times, that Bill prefers young boys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how true that is. Just because Kathy O'Brien says it doesn't mean that. But I have heard that for quite some time. So you're saying that he's not attracted to Trump? Why couldn't he? He could also be attracted to Trump.
So I would rather hear about that, not in explicit detail or anything.
No, great point. I agree. Every time some little detail comes out about the Epstein client list, I go, what about the children? Shut the fuck up. What about the children?
But I would rather the conversation be that than Donald Jerome Trump doing or not doing something, because that takes away from what Bill actually did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a smoke and mirrors thing, and we can know it's a smoke and mirrors thing because of that particular email that's floating around, references Putin, which is what, guys? The Russian collusion hoax?
Yeah. And people will run with this. I suspect you're probably correct. And people will run with this, but it's like it takes nothing to fabricate an email. You know what I mean? It's almost to the point where if anything is said about the whole Epstein list and it's not telling me what I already know, and that's the other thing too, is we do a lot of waiting around for them to tell us what we already know. So, like, I've really moved on. Like, I don't care. It's fun to talk about sometimes, especially, like, if you have a funny Sora video of Trump, you know, giving him an over-the-pants to Bill Clinton. Like, that's funny to me. All right, cool. But, yeah, if you're going to get bogged down in the seriousness of the Epstein list, like, unless they're going to tell me what I already know, which will be of no value to me anyway, I don't give a fuck. And what I already know is that island was about fucking kids. Not about teenagers giving you back rubs. Not about, you know, barely legal this and that. No. It's about kids. It's about a massive trafficking network that deals in children. So, yeah, I agree. Any shit that like this that comes out is probably distraction. But for me, it's comedy, which maybe is horrifying. But
again, part 74? Okay, so that's enough of that. It's nonsense. It's distraction. It'll get the TDS boomers all riled up. And, you know.
I like that, by the way. I like when they get riled up. It's fun. It's fun to watch them. Oh, God.
No, it'll have us talking about it. So there's that. As far as Wayward goes, that's on the watch list for Morning Crew. Morning Crew is a show.
I hope I didn't spoil it for you. Well, I don't think I gave too much of the plot points away. It's a tranny.
That I do Monday and Friday, 6:30 a.m. Central, over on Rumble, only on Rumble, because I don't want to play anybody's games. So it's on our watch list. You made it through the whole season. Let's see how I do. Okay. I love you guys. Have a great day. Don't forget to say your prayers. And, you know, don't be turds. Okay, bye.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the voice memo. Yeah, I mean, look, you probably will make it through it. I mean, I told you I had to bow out for that moment or whatever, and I did tell my wife, I was like, I'm done with this show. I'm fucking done. We were driving, and I was like, just done with this shit. And then, like, she was like, okay, well, there's only like 2 episodes left, and I've watched them all, so I'm going to at least get through these last 2 episodes. And I was like, fine, I guess I'll watch it then. You know, so there goes me lacking conviction. But it is interesting. And, you know, some other things I'll say about it. Not a single likable character. They're all just shitty, bad people. They all suck in such annoying ways. Like, for example, like one of the girls that you're really supposed to, I guess, root for, she's like an immoral druggie. But she has kind of this like rebellious white girl teenager vibe going on that like is supposed to be attractive to your sensibilities. You're supposed to root for her in some way, shape, or form. You know what's funny? It's like they kind of made this mistake too with The Witcher. So I'm a big fan of The Witcher game. Will really, I guess number 2. Is it number 2 or number 3? And yeah, I'm the man of the house and I take all decisions. So what do you want to do, honey? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So big fan of the Witcher games, and not like I never got into the graphic novels or any of that stuff, but you know, I hear that they're good. So when they made the show adaptation, I was fully ready for them to just massacre that. And they did, of course. Henry Cavill, doodly doo. It's all very gay. It's like if they were going to do The Witcher, I'd want them to do it like Game of Thrones, where it was like grittier and instead it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just gay. But so they swap Henry Cavill out and they come back with a new actor. Don't care, didn't watch it. After the first season, I was like, I'm good on this. This sucks ass. It's such a really cool story with all kinds of really cool plot devices and all kinds of cool characters and creatures and diddly-doo. You could have made something fun there. But they didn't do that. And so I just gave up on it. And so I hear, you know, oh, they made a new one. They got a new actor. Don't care. But there's a scene where they introduce a bad guy. And 90s Spawn. 90s Spawn was awesome. That was excellent. Excellent movie. I would love to see them do a Spawn remake, but then Spawn's going to be a bisexual Chinese man. So they introduced this new bad guy who's like a kind of an iconic, infamous character from the series. And they take the beloved group that the show has been following and they pit them against him. And he murders all of them in epic fashion. And they are all, there's like a black lesbian with a mohawk. There's a small Chinese man. There's a gay white dude. There's a Spanish chick. Like they have everybody that you need. So you check all the boxes, you get DEI money, whatever. He murders them all. Nobody stands a chance. He's just a monster. And I guess it was meant to evoke horror at the fact that all the beloved characters had just been massacred, you know, in one shocking moment. But instead it ends up being like the highest rated episode of the series. And overwhelmingly people are like, thank God all those characters are dead now because they were insufferable and gay. I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, John Leguizamo played the clown, the Violator. The Violator is what he was called. Really great. Really great. This has been on for 2 hours. Yeah, pretty much. We've been here for a while. Hey, we got donations coming in. Damn, I never looked at that. I never told you guys to send money. We're also back to the phone, sidetrack. David, that's my wife. She texted me. She's right. All right, fine. We'll open the lines for a little bit. And then before I'm out of here, I'll address some of these donations, as we did get a few. Let's open the lines. Wait, this one says transcription not available. There's nothing there. Okay. Who is it? Yo, by the way, when we were doing the episode with Sam Urban, I'll tell you guys this real quick. Camera 2, camera 3, camera this one. All right, whatever. It's fine. Keep it on this one. Or on this one? Okay. So these old people, they've been getting really mad because like we're loud in here. And they're trying to do stuff back there like pray for the Republican Party. And so we were kind of loud with Sam Urban. There's a set of double doors right behind the camera here. And they were just like, do. like they're knocking and they're trying to open the double doors, but we keep them latched so that we're not disturbed. We have an on-air sign. Like we click the thing. It says we're on air. That way you know that we're on air. It doesn't mean anything. We're not telling you to keep it down. Nothing like that. Don't care how loud you are. But it's just like a little thing. Like, hey, just so you know, in case you wanted to like try to open these doors and just barge in here, maybe you would know that we're on air. And they're like, like, I'm like, holy shit, dude. They don't like us. Which like, we're pretty unlikable. Why not? We're just loud. They have like a free space. And they get to use it, for free. And they don't like when it's not quiet, when they're utilizing their free space. Chuck says, I'm old and I like us. It's because you're a dangerous retard, Chuck. It's a different cut. All right, we're going to open the lines. Let's open the lines. What's the number? 321-209-8551. Call in. Talk to me about whatever you'd like. Maybe it's the show Wayward. Maybe it's about whether or not Trump is sucking off Bill Clinton. Whatever. Let's look at the chat. I'm on their lawn. It's very much, yeah. That's the vibe. That is the vibe. I am very young. I am full of youthful exuberance. It could well be that. Crazy idea. I know. But why wouldn't they do their praying in their chosen house of God? Well, they do a number of things here. They'll have like talks, lectures and such. By the way, would you guys be interested in this? So Matt gave me some DVDs from Indiana Moans, Timothy Alberino, and he's been like, we should watch these, or you should watch these and get back to me. You should watch these and get back to me. I've been busy watching Transformers, which is, what's really funny, that like even now the kids Transformers has like a Transformer on Netflix. Anyway, so and then so I have been busy. I haven't been able to watch them. And yeah, so Chuck says watch along. Yeah, and that's what Matt's been suggesting. He's like, can we do like a watch party? I don't think he used the word watch party because Matt's also old. But I go, maybe. So with some of these like ancient, how would you put this? It's got to do with megalithic structures and aliens and angels and demons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know the deal, right? So would you? But it's not necessarily goy slop, right? But yeah, I just wanted to know. It seems like everybody's is interested in it. Matt's older than his ID says. Matt is very old. Every time I talk to him, it gets earlier, or he gets older and older. It's like first he's 40, a couple of conversations later he's 47. Okay, there you go. Yes, Matt with 3 T's. We do be digging watch parties. Okay, I would love to do a fight companion. In fact, Cheney in Wonderland, she's one of my favorite people. She wants to do big lesbian watch parties or fight companions, but dude, like that's so late. I'm so sleepy. Like how would I do that? How would I do that? Jay Brooks says, I love to watch Timmy Albo. Yeah. Well, we released that episode with Karen Wilkinson recently, and there was a little bit of, contention about Timothy Alberino, which led to some heated debate in the coffee shop afterwards when we were cleaning up and walking around, talking about, Timothy Alberino. David is the perfect lesbian. Thank you. Whoop my baby mama's hoe ass. 4 decaf coffee should do it. That's a specific amount. But yeah, so it got heated, and I made a song, and he makes me feel like I'm in the game Uncharted. Yeah. See, dresses like that. And I was making a song. It was done in like a kind of a 80s hair metal style. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it was all about how Timothy Alberino entered a pact with the Blurry Creatures boys. He sucked them off, and they did like a Crowleyan butt magic ritual, and then created the Book of Enoch commentary. None of that's true. Just a fun song. But I could see how much it bothered Matt, because Matt is very into Timothy Alberino. And so I said it's a fun song. Sounds like I'm hating. Yeah, I mean, I'd like them. If I have anything negative to say, it's almost entirely because I'm hating. Because they're cooler and more successful than we are, and nobody gives Timothy Alberino shit for dressing like Indiana Jones, and he carries a whip publicly, and nobody cares about that, and like I'm not cool enough to carry a whip publicly without people saying, gay stuff about it, and I don't know. So I just want to spread unfounded rumors that Timothy Alberino fellatioed one of the Blurry Creatures guys and harvested the sexual energy from that event to enter into a pact with some sort of demonic entity, who then commissioned them into writing a commentary on the Book of Enoch. And that one day, Timothy Alberino is going to have to pay for that deal with his soul. Get the hat first, you'll grow into the whip. Could be. I have a hat, and my wife, she goes, "You look handsome with that hat." And I just can't go out with it. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Like sometimes I think it looks good. You know what it is, dude? I gotta be honest. I don't think you can wear a hat like a fully brimmed hat. You know what I mean? I'm not talking like a cap, like a baseball cap or whatever. I'm talking like a fully brimmed hat. Where can we download this song from? I don't remember how it was, like Timothy Alberino. It had like that, like kind of like an airy, shitty rock kind of a voice. And it was something about like sucked off the Blurry Creatures boys. And then he wrote the Book of Enoch commentary. It wasn't good. I can't bring it back in this moment if I wanted to, but I don't think that you could wear those sorts of things unless you're tall. Like you got to be tall to be able to do that. Short dudes, we can't. There's a lot of things we're not allowed to do. For example, we're not allowed to have long hair. Like this length that my hair has kind of gotten to, that's it. That's enough. Anything beyond this, not good. So we're not allowed to have long hair. We're not allowed to wear brimmed hats, that's for certain. We're not allowed to wear anything with a thick sole on it, because then you're trying to be taller than you are. But if you're already tall, you can wear things with like a heel, like a boot with a heel. is fine if you're already tall. You have to be tall to suck off the blurry creatures, guys. That's true too. That's a thing. You're not allowed to learn to dance unless you're tall. So, like, for example, like if I wanted to go to a salsa class, I can't do that because then I'm just a small man jittering about. You need to be a tall man if you want to do salsa. So yeah, there's certain things that I'm cut off from, and that's fine. And I just know that when I look at that hat, that's the dream of a tall man. It's not a hat for me. You're wrong. DeSantis wears boots with heels all the time, and he looks really cool. Is that true? Does he look cool? I don't know. I would just like to wear a fully brimmed hat. That's all. You know, like I'm looking into like a haircut soon because it's getting long. And I'm not that tall. All right, guys, it's fine if nobody wants to call today. We're going to shut the lines. Honestly, I was almost dreading opening the lines because I've managed to drag this show out for 2 hours. And I was like, this is going to go a lot longer if I do this. So thank you guys for not calling in. Let's address some of these donations if there are any donations, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. I hear people saying something about me ignoring donations on Rumble. Let's go check Rumble. Okay, thank you very much, Subliminal Messenger, for the $2 donation on Rumble. He says it's the cop from Wayward. It wants its tits back. Are you saying I have small tits and that the cop from Wayward wants them back? I'm sorry. I'm just feeling very vulnerable now. Chuck says he did a rant on Rumble, and Rumble doesn't want to show me shit. So that's really nice. Is there any way to disable large history? Go back farther in the chat history. Okay, let's do that. No? We can't do that? You're not going to enable large history. Okay, so there's just nothing to... That's good. If you sent a donation on Rumble, figure out a way to express that to me because I simply can't. I can't find out what you done did. Let's go check. Thank you very much to Jonathan Britton. Yo, I'll call right now. Open the lines. The lines are closed, Jonathan, but I'll take your $2. It was $50 for Mrs. Raven. Is that true? From Chuck? Mr. Chuck, is that true? Bert Wagner, PhD, says, an interesting quote. In a world of abundance, life falls into a competition of social status. Social status is a zero-sum game. I got to sneeze. Thank you. I think somebody probably said bless you. Yeah, I don't know what that means because I'm not very smart. I like it, but I don't know what that means. Thank you very much, Heather. Okay, we'll check some of the other apps here. I mean, I understand the concept of a social status being a zero-sum game. That I understand. I think. Can you say it in retard words for me? Atma, thank you very much, Atma, for the $5.47. He says, prayers for you and the family. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, brother. All in all, we are doing well. It was quite thought-provoking. Not sure how true that is. I can provide an explanation on Telegram. Okay. Yeah, we are doing well. My wife has her back problems, but like I said, I do think that we are getting somewhere. I honestly think, I know she's listening. I think this is spiritual, sweetheart. I think you've maybe probably had a curse on you. And plus, we got nothing but good news from the hospital, which is to say, all her vitals are incredibly promising. So that's great. That's very good news. What my baby mama's hoe ass says, I donated on Rumble. It was $1 million. Thank you very much to Q for the $1 million. All right. Make a little bit of money today. Keisha says, when there's abundance, people don't have anything more than to complete or to compete socially. Yeah, that's where we are. Xerox, our brother in Christ, we pay. Oh, are we praying? Well, prayers for Xerox, our brother in Christ who believes in everything that he sees on the internet, just like me. I hope that he is staying strong with the no gooning. Once again, I just like to shout out to all the guys out there who have just not, I guess the girls too, who have not gooned. But we don't care about you guys. Who have not gooned. Who have stayed strong in the face of temptation. God knows that everywhere you go, there's something petitioning for your goonery. And if you've been, and even if you haven't, and you've been just aspiring to not goon, and you've been thinking about it, here's your sign, dude. 6, camera 2, camera 3, stop gooning. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do it anymore. You don't have to do it anymore. You don't have to goon. God doesn't like it when you goon. And there are things in the spirit realm who are like laughing at you and shit when you're gooning. Think about how stupid you look. Yeah, you know you look stupid. And you know there's like spirits that are watching you. And you know you look super dumb. And every time you're going through your phone and something shows up and it's like, goon. And you go, no. Every time that happens, you got guardian angels that are like, fuck yeah. God is like, fuck yeah. So if you've been waiting for somebody to tell you not to goon, well, now you don't have an excuse. Don't do it anymore. Stop it. Don't pull on that. Hey! Let go of that. Cut it out. Don't pull on that. Put your phone down. Do some push-ups. Fucking weirdo. Anyway, let's see what we got here. We got another one from Michael. Thank you, Michael, for the $5. There's no, oh, it's just coffee. It says, oh, by the way, somebody, hold on a second. Un momento. All right. So thank you to Thomas for, I believe this is a $100 donation to the Standard Coffee Shop for our tab. Said I wanted to know if I can put $100 on a tab for NDS. By the way, going back to church, using Blue Letter Bible, reading the Bible now, years of psychosis and mental issues, and then closing eyes, seeing Jesus and deliverance. That's interesting. There's something there. I wonder what all that means. I got a shorthand note here from Matt, but that's awesome. So thank you to Thomas, and I'm pumped to hear that you're going back to church and that you're using Blue Letter Bible, you're reading your Bible, you're getting closer to God. It sounds like you had some sort of experience. These messages that we get, that's like the big thing. Matt said something, he had a prayer the other day, and he was just like, I pray that when these guys, you know, pass away and go to heaven, that they're met by like Jesus showing them all the people that we helped bring to God through this show. And I'm like, yeah, that's it, dude. That's huge. That's huge. That's the best. That's the thing. That's the main shit. So thank you very much. And it's cool to hear that good things come from this. All right, let's check out, I guess we're going to check out Cash App. Doodly doo. Hold on. Thank you very much to Robin. Where have you been? Well, I guess where have we been, right? Used to see Robin all the time in the chat. And then I started to not do Timeline Cleanse. Thank you for the $10 donation. Is there no words attached to this? Have you said nothing? Oh, good morning, y'all. Good morning to you, Robin. Bigoted Ohio or Idaho Hermit said, I lit up Blue Letter Bible for being unchristlike. That's pretty funny. We didn't tell anybody to do that, but that's pretty funny. I think my church is calling me. It's weird. I'll have to Google this number afterwards. Okay, let's check PayPal, and then we're going to get out of here, guys. We're going to close it up. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. And it looks like we got a $2 donation from Kate. Anti-speciesist. The scene is wayward, where the kids shame each other and then do weird sexual hug circle, was exactly like the WASP program I went to for 16 months. They did weird rituals like that all the time and constant manipulation and terrorizing of the kids to break us down mentally. Dude, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Guys, we might do NDS Chronicles today. Goes on watching. Kate, that is fascinating. So she's saying, so for context here, in the show Wayward, what they do is you get demerits if you touch another. So what they do is they deprive you of, I'm doing a lot of like shirt tugging. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been like working out and I've been eating really healthy. And for some reason I feel thicker than a Snickers. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I just swolled up. I think I got to stop doing as much weight and do more reps with lower weight. I'm feeling insecure. So in the show, they keep everybody from touching each other. And it's like, human touch it's very important. So they allow them to touch in one moment. So get this. I do feel gassy. I think I'm gassy. What they do is they get them together in a room and they basically just have them say everything that's been on their chest that is really rude and mean to each other. Like, you're a piece of shit for doing this and that. And then they start screaming and they're like, yeah, let it out, let it out. And then when they're done and they totally break down the person and the person is just like sitting there crying, now they let them all like touch and hug. And then it's like, they're like in ecstasy, like hugging each other. These kids, it's fucking weird, dude. But Kate says that happened? That happened? Is it like to that degree? That's wild, dude. See, and that's the thing is like this shit is all fascinating to me. And then it's like, was there a tranny cop? Transformers! More than meets the eye. Big fan of Transformers here, YouTube. Chill. Yes, they deprived us of touch at all times. Then in seminar, they would allow and almost force us to hug and touch and comfort each other. Dude. That is crazy. Don't say Cranium Maximus. That is crazy. Wow. I hate that. Call into Chronicles. Kate has written into Chronicles. She's a real one. Q says check trash app. I'll check it. Q use. Q, there's nothing there. Damn it. You got me. Sounds like something purposely caused dissociation. Dude, that's so crazy. This is what we got from Operation Paperclip. Yeah. All right, guys, I got to go. Because this show has been 2 hours and 20 minutes long. I got to go. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're probably going to do either Neph to America or Chronicles, but we haven't done Chronicles in a long time, so I hope we do that later on. So me and Top will be here, and Matt says he's never doing Chronicles again with us because the last time we did Chronicles with him, the thumbnail just said Wigger, and it was just a picture of Matt in the center. So he said that made him sad. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there will be more shows today. We'll catch you guys later, and then we'll do another The Raven on Wednesday night. So thank you all for hanging. Thank you for donating, and I will see you shortly. How do I get out of this? Oh, this one. Okay. Bye, guys.